Hey there everybody, got an unboxing video here for you. If this is what I think it is, this is something very special. Back in 1988, I went and bought my first guitar. And you know how it is when you go to the guitar store, you look at like everything they got, and there's the one that you would get if price were no object, and then there's the guitar that you can afford that you go home with. And when I went to buy my first guitar, what's inside this box, if this is the guitar I think it is the guitar that I wanted. Not the one that I could afford. The one that I could afford was a $300 Fender 12-string acoustic. Fender Villager 12-string acoustic, 1969. Fender Villager 12-string acoustic, used. And for 50 bucks, he threw a single coil in the sound hole for me while I waited, and played the guitar I wanted while I waited. And the guitar I wanted was a mid to late 60s Fender 12, Electric 12. And it had been custom refinished in a metallic flake purple, which is not a Fender color at all for that year, or at all period, actually, I don't think. But recently online I found one of these reproduction shops in China is building reproduction Fender Electric 12s, and I think this thing cost about $350, something like that, and it was in the $250 to $350 range. I'd have to look it up. And I ordered it, and they sent me a mid-80s Fender Jazz Special bass made in Japan reproduction by accident. And the bass was so beautiful, I paid for the bass, and then they were supposed to ship me the guitar that they still owed me. And I waited almost a month now to get a tracking number, and all of a sudden this thing showed up in my driveway this morning. So we're going to see what's inside here, but I think it's going to be a 67 Fender 12 Electric. Yep, I was right. It's a Fender Electric 12. Got a little styrofoam on it, but yeah. Check out these pickups on it. It's like a P-bass or something. Yeah, so it's got the mother of pearl pick guard. I mean the tortoiseshell. Yeah, the one at the shop at OSU back in '88 was just like this, but with the metallic flake purple body paint job, and still had the tortoiseshell pick guard. 12 strings, true electric. It's got the Fender 12-string bridge on it with 12 adjustable saddles. It's crazy stuff if you've ever seen a photo. Coming on up. And there it is, the big old Fender Electric 12. Isn't this thing beautiful? Isn't this thing beautiful? Yeah, I was sitting in the shop at OSU playing basically the power chords to Purple Haze. Let me stand it up here. Hold on a sec. Okay, got it brushed off. This is what we're looking at. Check it out, it's got a Floyd Rose style hold down bar on it. Yeah, so this is the front of the guitar. Hold down bar, nice nut. Come on, don't lose focus. And what do we got? Okay, so we got 2 sets of pickups. We got a 3-way. We got a volume and a tone. Output jack. Strap buttons. String through. Fender neck plate. Vintage style Fender tuners. Country of origin sticker. Got a nice kind of yellow amber finish going on the neck. Pretty neck, nice graining. Big old Fender headstock. Yeah, these Fender 12s, they got big headstocks. Even here, let me grab the oldest one I got. Yeah, this here is the '69 Villager headstock and neck. And as you can see, they're huge. And this one's already been rounded down as much as possible, more or less. Within reason. It's getting a new body, a longer body, so that it can get the swing bar thing going on. This is the Fender 12. '69 Villager, it's January 29th, 1969. And the number for matching it to the body is a number 1. Because I just recently had it apart. And where it's like stamped on the neck with the date and the number, all the times that I refinish this, I've always preserved that section of the neck unrefinished, so it's all original there, so that you can still read the date and stamp and everything. And yeah, I just had it apart like yesterday when I was putting it on this new body for it. This should turn out pretty good. This is an experiment, sort of, a little bit. This is pine. I got to look up what kind of pine, but it's solid pine instead of plywood. Hopefully that'll eliminate that kind of bowing issue you get with the plywood, where it does a little creep, which requires you to come back after a week or 2 and sometimes reshim, which it's not a great thing, because if you're moving around a lot in climate, or specifically from the shop to wherever the place ends up living, if it's not the same climate as this shop, then it might actually need some adjustment in shim, which makes it not really ideal to ship out to a customer kind of thing. But I'm not really doing that. But it'd be nice to solve that issue. So I'm thinking that going to a solid versus non-ply might take care of that situation. And once again, this is readily available and low cost and easy to work and everything. So, and all I did was I just took like this is my first failed attempt here. All I did was I took get out of the way, chair. Yeah, I just took a 2x4 and basically I put it in the saw vertically like this and tried to zzz, and then flip it over and zzz, but I didn't get it right on that one. But eventually I got it, figured out where to set the saw in order to kick out these kind of things, which is basically, it's a solid pine body blank for an electric guitar, one of these minimalist guitars. And this is a big enough blank to make an X12 or an X13 out of. And I've got, a number of them now, so. Well, I got that one, and I got, these are short ones, which are suitable for doing a Strat type. I've actually finally decided to build a Strat type minimalist guitar. And it's out here in the paint shop. And that's the body. Supposed to be doing an unboxing of a Fender 12 string, and what am I doing? I'm showing you other stuff. You know me, I ramble. And then here's the neck. And yeah, it's just got the first coat of the rose on it, and it's looking awfully pink. Awfully pink, but I'll get it there. I'm shooting for a, it's a black, but it's actually an indigo blue, sanded back, and then in order to pop the grain, but there wasn't really that much grain to pop here. Mostly all it does is pop the unevenness in the sanding, but still gives it some kind of effect at least. And the fact that it's indigo blue instead of black makes the dark part actually a bit more purple than black, so that still works okay with the red or purple or violet or whatever you want to call this. But yeah, as you can see here, you see the color difference. That's where it's fretboard, and then this is a little bit of neck here, right at the edge, and that's like 2 coats at the neck and 1 coat. So it'll get redder as you go more coats. I don't think I'm going to leave it pink. So yeah, I mean, pink is kind of cool, or you know, raspberry pink. That Raspberry Dragon's Breath PRS limited edition, 13 grand at Sweetwater. Man, that was a pretty guitar. Oh my God, beautiful. It was actually a lighter pink than this. But anyway, yeah. So this is in the paint shop, and that's yet another guitar. And yeah, I'm totally rambling now. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, all these Fender 12s, they got big headstocks on them. Yeah, if you look at this Cozart over here, this is in a Strat style as opposed to a. And once again, it's got that big headstock on it. Yeah, so. But yeah, and that's a hardtail Strat too, the same way this one's a hardtail. So yeah, now it's time to try this puppy out. They do take, you know, twice as many strings, takes twice as long to tune, but other than that, you know, it's worth the effort because 12 strings sounds so beautiful, so beautiful. Real automatic chorus, because you're playing basically 2 guitars worth of strings all at once, which also makes it a little bit more effort to play. But this is, the first guitar I ever bought was an acoustic 12 string, so yeah. You talk about learning on a hard guitar and then everything else the rest of your life is easy by comparison. Yeah, I had it about as hard as it gets, learning on learning the basic ropes on an acoustic 12 string. Yeah. Because that wasn't like the very first thing I ever played, but that was the first guitar that it was the second guitar I ever had, so yeah. And that was the first one. I put more time on that guitar than I put on the one that I originally learned on. The one I originally learned on I only had for like, you know, somewhere between 1 and 3 years before it sort of less self-destructed from use because it was so cheap. And then I found myself with no guitar, and so I ended up wanting to buy this thing, but settling for the acoustic 12 with the single coil in it. But yeah, now I've finally got this, and this is like, I have no more plans to buy any more guitars, and I wasn't planning on buying this thing until I saw it, and I was like, oh my God, look at that. You know what that is? Because for 34 years, I have wanted one of these things. I've wanted one ever since that day at that shop at OSU back in 1988. I've always wanted one of these things, and I finally got one. So, yeah, I'm a happy camper. Right up there with having a Gibson Modern, which I wanted my whole life. You know, since I knew they existed, I've wanted a Gibson Modern. And thanks to high-quality reproduction shops in China, I now have Fender Electric 12 reproduction. I have a Gibson Modern reproduction. And I've got a Japanese, made in Japan, Fender Jazz Special Bass reproduction. And they're all beautiful, beautiful instruments like this here. So, yeah. Really, 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 you know, quality reproductions. Nice bursts. Everything that I can see on it is real, real nice. And exactly the way the guitars are supposed to be, as near as I can tell. as near as I can tell. So, about the only thing I'm not sure of is this, but I'll bet you if I went and looked it up, that's the way they came. So yeah, pleasant surprise here. I was thinking I'd have to jump online here. My internet's down at the moment, so I won't be posting this for a few days probably, but yeah, I was thinking I was going to have to jump online and try to contact the eBay vendor and see if they'd shipped it yet. And lo and behold, it's here. So, but that's going to do it for this unboxing video. So, until the next one, which is probably going to be a whole bunch of videos on the new versions of all these guitars that I'm doing. Let's see, the Fender 12's getting a swing bar, and all kinds of stuff here is getting the thin heel necks for, well, let's see, that's the XIII, and that's the XI, and the XII is up there in the pile too, and the Fender 12 is up there. So yeah, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 guitars there, all taken apart for that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, until the next one, everybody, get this out of the way, right? Put it there someplace. There we go. So there it is, the Fender Electric 12. I think it's a 1967, 68. I'd have to look up the years they made. It was like 65 through 69 or something like that. But until the next one, everybody, have a good one. Time for me to jam.